You know that high you feel when you get an email from somebody and they are singing your praises and saying how much they love your work and how they can't wait to work with you, and they're so excited and want more information about a session, and you're excited. You hopefully quickly send them an email with all the information about a session with you, and then nothing. That is probably one of the worst feelings as a photographer. That's what we were talking about today, getting ghosted. How do you prevent getting ghosted? What do you do if you feel like you're being ghosted? And what steps can you take to prevent it going forward? So there's 4 main strategies that I use to prevent getting ghosted. Nothing is ghost proof. There's always going to be those clients that email you, and despite your best efforts, you never hear back from, and that's okay. This will hopefully greatly increase your booking rate and greatly decrease your ghosting rate. So let's get started. Number 1, it actually is going to start before you get ghosted. You have to make sure that you have a very personal and strong brand. So on your website, across all social media platforms, are you in front of the camera as much as possible? I know we all hate that as photographers, but are you in front of the camera so clients really get to know you? So when they do reach out, they feel like they're already reaching out to a friend, and it's already they're already one step closer to trusting you. You can do this in lots of different ways. Sharing a bit about your personal life. You don't have to go crazy. Showing your process, showing a lot of behind the scenes of you working, really showing them what it's like to be one of your clients, so that they are so excited to get the VIP treatment that you offer. It's part 2 of that is making sure that you know who you're targeting, that you're not just blankly targeting anybody who's willing to pay you money. When you target the masses, you end up attracting no one. And I know it kind of seems counterintuitive, but if you really define who your target client is, who is the ideal person that you want to work with, what type of people are you trying to attract? And that's not just people who will pay you money, right? There's lots of people who have money that could afford your services, but that don't value either the VIP treatment that you offer, or the style of photography that you offer, or the types of products that you offer, depending on what your style of photography is. So making sure across social media and on your website that you truly know who you want to work with, so that you're speaking directly to that person. Once you really lock down your ideal avatar, the ideal person you're talking to, and you're able to speak directly to him or her, you'll find that those people, you're already priming them to work with you. So when they do inquire, they're so excited, and they will respond right back. The last part of it starts before they inquire is starting prices. I know that it's a hot topic. A lot of photographers have different thoughts on whether or not you should put your prices on your website, but I'm a strong believer that you should have at least your starting prices on your website. I don't think you need to have your full price list. I think that's a lot overwhelming for clients, and we really don't want the decision to be about price. But I think just to give people a baseline, you don't want people to assume you're so expensive and that they can't afford you if there's nothing there. And there are people who, despite how much they love you, I would love to buy a $5 million house. It's beautiful. I know its value, but I just can't afford that, right? So there are people who won't be able to afford you, and that's okay. But by at least putting your starting prices on there, you're essentially pre-qualifying people. And by them seeing that, by the time they inquire, you definitely know price is not going to be their objection. Okay, so the second thing you can do is to respond quickly. And I do not expect you to be tied to your computer, your laptop, your cell phone. I know, we're all parents here. We all have busy lives. Maybe you still have a second job or your first job while you're trying to start your photography career. So there's some things you can do to make responding faster, not a manual process. And that is, hopefully you're using some sort of a client management system, and you can set it up so that if somebody requires and they pick the drop down of, let's say, newborn photography, your system can automatically send them a standard email that talks all about newborn photography and how excited you are to work with them and how great your service is. So they'll get that instantly. But I wouldn't leave it just at that, because everybody can tell that's kind of a form message. I would, within no more than 24 hours, preferably 12. Send them a personal email. Address them by name so that they know it's you. Let them, a lot of times people ask very specific questions. Tell them how excited that you are. If they say this is their second child, like, oh great, a big brother, a big sister, how awesome. Answer their specific questions. Make sure they got your auto responder. And then you can let them know that you're following up with them personally this time. Like, oh, luckily I have your due date available, or, let's talk dates. Let's set up a time to talk. By responding personally, they now know that you're on top of it, and it brings them one step closer to you. And clients don't reach out to just us. They're not sitting by their computer hitting refresh, waiting for us to respond. They have probably inquired with, 5, 6, 7 photographers in your area. And oftentimes the person who responds first is going to leave a really good impression on them, because your client's going to know that you are on top of it. You treat your business seriously, and it's not just a hobby for you. Even if it is a side hobby, they want to be treated professionally. And it just gives them a really good feeling about how working with you from beginning to end would be. Another way to take that one step further is a phone call. You could definitely have the autoresponder sent first, and instead of sending that email, the personal email to follow up, you could call if they leave you their phone number. A lot of times they won't pick up, and that's okay, just by leaving a message, and you could say, just wanted to connect with you, and then you could follow up with an email after that. But that phone call is just another step to the personalization process, so your potential clients feel even more connected to you. If you don't want to follow up with a phone call, another really good way to kind of put your face in front of your clients is to follow up with a video. I've kind of tested both the phone call and the video, and I actually find that I think my clients prefer the video. A lot of people don't like talking on the phone. They've got kids, they're at work, and when you kind of surprise them with a phone call, they may not have time to talk, and they may be not able to focus. But if you follow up with a really quick video, it does not have to be high production value, just something from your cell phone, where you address them by name, answer their questions specifically that they have, and then say, do you want to talk further? You could even give them a link to schedule a call with you, so it's in their hands. They pick a time that works for them. If I was in need of more clients, the phone call and the video are two of the very first things I would do just to get in front of my potential clients sooner and faster and better. Number 3 is offering an incentive to book quickly within the 24 to 48 hours. You definitely don't ever want your clients to feel like you're a used cars salesman, like, oh, hurry, this offer ends soon. But if you say, I'm super excited to work with you, all the spots, don't lie. Clients can see right through a lie. But if it's, let's say they're booking for the fall, and you could say, my calendar for the fall is booking up fast, because our falls do book up fast. So I'm trying to solidify my schedule. So, anybody who books before the date, they get 2 free 8x10s or whatever it is. Don't discount, always add value. You'll hear me say that over and over again. You don't want to offer 10% off, 20% off. That really devalues your product. However, if you offer an incentive, maybe it's extra shooting time, maybe it's extra prints, a couple extra digitals. You don't have to go over the top, just a little bit of something to entice them. Maybe it's a complimentary video from their session, something that's not going to take too much more of your time, but that really does add value. So you could always add that to your process if you're having a hard time converting your inquiries. And then lastly, follow up. This to me should be a no-brainer, but in talking with a lot of my mentees, they feel like once they sent the first email, if the client doesn't respond, that they don't want to bother them. A lot of times people just get busy. Sometimes we get so much junk in our inbox. Sometimes people just don't see it. Sometimes your email goes to spam. So if you follow up, kind of like we were talking up top initially with the phone call or the video, but let's say you did that and you still haven't heard. Within 4 days, I always send another email, but it's not a, have you decided if you want to book me yet email. It's something where I add value or testimonials. So my second email currently is what other clients are saying about me. So so excited to work with you. Just thought you'd like to know what other moms have said about the experience working with me. And there's a testimonial from a client. If you can get a video testimonial, it's even better. Or you could add value. So excited for your family session. I thought we could even, just want to give you some guidance as you may be thinking about wardrobe at this time, and send some wardrobe guidance. They may not book you. They may use that guidance for someone else, but that's okay, because you've shown them that you're the expert and that you can add value. So anything that you can follow up just to put your name and face in front of them again is beneficial. And it can be, you're not bothering them. Currently I have my initial inquiry, then I let them know I have their due date available, and then I send them 2 follow-ups, one adding value and one with the client testimonials. And you'd be surprised sometimes by the final step, which is for me, it's the wardrobe guidance. That's when some people get back to me and say like, oh yeah, I really do want to work with you. So it's not lost after that first email.